playing for both teams. 8 years at Arsenal as professional, 7 as professional at Liverpool. So it's split loyalties. And people keep asking me who am I supporting on the day. And I always say it's just the home team. Always a home team.
All right.
So it's easier. It's easier done. It's all done then. But when it comes to cup matches, I just try to keep away from it. It's too hard. It's so hard to sort of to be involved and say who's going to win.
In terms of that moment, that title-winning goal, incredibly dramatic. Listening to it, watching it, does it still give you shivers today?
Oh, it does. Without doubt, it gives me shivers. I sometimes can't watch it. I sort of walk out the room when it's on. So, I think Ray Houghton's going to tackle me still. I hate watching myself as well, so I hate it.
Michael, you mentioned kind of your split loyalties there. Very few players in English football, in world football, have such an affiliation to two huge clubs. As you say, is it a case they just very much have an equal place in your heart? You don't see yourself as an Arsenal man or a Liverpool man?
Yeah, definitely so. Growing up, obviously, I was at Tottenham. I just like to watch Tottenham play football. So I was on the shelf watching Tottenham, and I never really loved Arsenal. But obviously, when I went there as a player, you seem to grow into loving Arsenal. It's like a family to me, and I always say it's like a family going with Arsenal. And then I married Liverpool. You can't split the two. That's how I love it.
What a lovely way of putting it. I mean, so we talk about that 89 league title winning goal, but what about the FA Cup final goal and lifting that trophy with Liverpool? Where does that rank perhaps in your memories of important moments with both clubs?
I think for me, as a young child, I'm 53 now, and what the FA Cup meant to me was everything, more than the European Cup back in them days, because the whole world was watching. And I remember playing with my friends, after the final downstairs, trying to be the person who scored the winning goal, or even before that, staying in all day, watching the build-up all week and all day. So to me, the FA Cup would always be special to me. That was my biggest aim was to win, obviously, an FA Cup and scoring one. And I was fortunate to do both and losing one as well.
We won't mention that. We won't mention that. A word on your two former clubs then at the moment. Firstly, Liverpool. Are they favourites, do you think, to retain the title again? Firstly, in a case of what we've seen in terms of the transfer market and their recent signings, Diego Jota, Thiago, hugely impressive, but also some frailties that we saw from Manchester City on Sunday night.
Very much so in that respect, as in obviously trying to win the league again. It's going to be definitely be a tough bid. Leicester will be stronger this year because they faltered near the end last season. Man City, there was a bit of challenges. I always said that there bit of challenges. Okay, they've had a bit of a wobble at the start of this season, but they'll still be thereabouts. Chelsea, with all their signings, fantastic signings, but that'll take time to gel. Arsenal are the ones who sort of I said they'll be in the top 6. I said I put them down for the top 6, but the way they're going about their business is really, astonishing, really. They're little dark horses. Liverpool, what can you say, as you said before, they bought well. They've gone back to the old Liverpool ways. Don't say anything about buying players and then just all of a sudden, on the day, we bought someone. And it's great. That's what it should be, The pressure's on Liverpool. They're a great team already, but to be the greatest team, to win, back to back, they have to do it this season.
Doesn't happen often, does it?
No, it doesn't. Not many teams have done it. I was unlucky not to do it. I still celebrate.
Absolutely, you were.
I still celebrating on the first year of winning. So
Well, let's talk about Arsenal and Mikel Arteta. How impressed have you been with the work that he's done in a relatively short period of time?
Well, to me, it's been well documented that I've said that I didn't want him there because I thought it was too soon. I wanted my dream team was Steve Bold, Dennis Bergkamp, and Patrick Vieira, because they know that they're fit. They knew what the club's about. But after one game, you saw the difference in that team and what Arteta done. He made it stronger, more solid, and he had players fighting for the shirt. And for me, that meant so much. And every game's the same. They fight for everything now. They're hard to break down. And every player now, it's like you cannot play under 70% because it's not good enough. You got to give your all for Arsenal, and that's what we all expect when you play for Arsenal.
From a player's point of view, that must be so impressive to see that, because everyone always talks. It takes a long time to change the mentality of a dressing room, but from what you're saying, Arteta has done this overnight.
Yeah, but Arteta's not suffering fools gladly. You look at him. He's said what he wants to do. If you're not part of it, well, you don't have to be here. Mesut Ozil's, a great example.
Matteo Guendouzi as well.
Exactly. How great a player they are. He's not having none of it, and that's how it should be. If every player now is like, hold on a minute. Wow, we have to play to our maximum all the time. We have to fight. And I think it's what we'd like to see as an Arsenal fan. I've split loyalties. It's hard to break down, hard to play through. And he's got hungry to win trophies, which we all love.
Mm. Where do you think this one's going to be won and lost then, Michael, tonight?
Oh, I tell you what, it's going to be a tough one. Liverpool created a lot of chances last time in the Charity Shield. Didn't take them. Arsenal didn't. They created a few chances and took their chances. It's going to be, I think, there's one goal in it. I think it's going to be a tight game. I think it's going to be a really tight game. But as I always said, the home team's got to win. And look at Liverpool now. Look at Liverpool.
There are your loyalties again.
I told you, the home team. It's always a home team. You have to look at Liverpool now. They've seen yesterday's game, Man City. And this is a great time for them now to make a big distance between themselves and City by winning tonight. So they'll be on the pedal, ready to roll tonight. I'm telling you, front foot always.
Finally, Michael, I want to talk to you about something a little bit different before we leave. I know the Black Lives Matter movement is something that means a great deal to you. We've heard a lot on the BBC in recent weeks and months from lots of high-level sports people. Michael Johnson, in fact, the Olympic sprinter, told us here last week that we're seeing progress, but we're seeing very, very slow progress. Do you agree? And if so, what can be done, do you think, to speed up that progress? Because this is a huge issue for this generation, but I suppose the hope is that it isn't a huge issue for our children and our children's children. What do you make about it?
Well, first and foremost, Michael Johnson's right. It's been slow. I've always thought that it should be in the curriculum. We're getting history, what is not truthful. And that's what's very, for me, that is hard to take. Because now, with the social media and the web and everything about you get online, they should change the curriculum and tell the truth, because the truth needs to be set free. Because it starts with the young children. Education is the most important thing. If you teach them from a young age, then I don't think in the future it'd be so bad. It'd be better for the kids, because then they know the truth of what went on in history. Mm. I always get a bit annoyed when they bring back slavery. Slavery. There's history before slavery, Black history, and that is frustrating. So hopefully we can start with education. That's the most important thing, and then companies can look at themselves, and just like Black people can look at themselves, within and see where we've gone wrong. But we need to make a big difference now. We've started a change. Now it must continue.
Because a lot of people talk about racism in football, but I suppose the point in which you're touching upon is that football is, like many other things, a reflection of life and society, and these things are bigger than football. Exactly. And bigger than sport, and changing these attitudes and opinions goes right down to the deepest of roots.
Exactly. You know, as I said before, it frustrates me all the time. Even talking about it, I get welled up by it. You know, how can you have Black History Month? What's a month going to do about it? What are you going to teach someone in a month? You know, it needs to be in the curriculum. And the kids from infant school should know about the history of everything, the true history, not just hidden history, it's the true history. Once they know that, they can go back to their parents and say, wow, I've learned this today. I've learned that today. It's like, oh, wow, yeah. We never learned that at school. So it's even hearing about Henry Wharton, the first black player, and Tull. We never knew nothing about that in the football world. All we knew about is Clyde Best in England, you know. And then you know, it was always funny as a player when I was growing up. Black players can't play in the cold. Black players can't be midfield players. Black players can't be coaches or goalkeepers. But the best teams I used to love watching, international teams I used to watch, what was it? Brazil. It's like, how do you work that way? How do you, your mentality is a bit strange, isn't it? You know, every manager, Brazil, fantastic. But they're black players. Same thing, you know. So it's a bit mad.
Well, Michael, I really appreciate you touching on that. It's really great to hear your thoughts. And thank you so much for being so kind of open and honest. I really appreciate it as well. And thank you for your time talking about Arsenal and Liverpool. It's been fantastic. I'm really looking forward to the game. It sounds like you are as well.
Oh, I am. I'm definitely looking forward to the game. There's a few other friends here. I think one Tottenham friend's going to come and sit with us and have a drink. But I think it's going to be a tough one today.
Absolutely right. Michael, take care. Thank you so much for your time.
Pleasure. Take care. Bye-bye.